building a strong foundation for resident and family councils. I am Mary Funseth, a Quality Improvement Advisor for Superior Health Quality Alliance. I am very familiar with resident and family councils, having been a facilitator of councils when I served as a social worker of a rural residential care community. The learning objectives: upon completing this module, the learner will be able to describe resident rights to meet as a group and the related organizational responsibilities, recognize the benefits for residents and families in being more engaged with you as a partner, list the benefits for your organization in engaging residents and families in your quality and safety work. As a United States citizen, we all have the right to gather together around topics of interest to make requests, discuss concerns, and share ideas and solutions. It does not stop when you move into a residential care setting. Let's set the stage to build support of the residents of your organizational community to come together and contribute to the overall system guidance. If you are not a nursing home facility, you do not have any mandates to create a resident family council. But as you review the Older Americans Act, you will see compelling reasons to support the residents of your organizational community. Pause this recording and take a moment to review the links in the slide or come back and review them later. Who and what makes up a resident family council? People who are the residents or families and advocates of residents of a long-term care facility that choose to come together to discuss and offer suggestions about policies and procedures affecting residents' care, treatment, and quality of life. They support each other. They plan resident and family activities. They participate in educational activities, share knowledge with each other about common interests. The members choose if the membership should be just residents, just families and advocates, or a combination of residents and families. While some of the conversations and planning may be about things like bingo and planning special meals, it is important to encourage and support the council members to expand discussions beyond those topics. Watch for a special topics module that will be updated on a regular basis and will be a resource for the council members to use as needing content for future councils. When and where does the resident family council meet? Council chooses the frequency, time, and length of the meetings. It is most important to ensure all who want to attend a council meeting has access in a way that is equitable to them. An example of this is a council member should have their calendar free at the time of the meetings, moving things like hair appointments, treatment, and therapy appointments as needed. Also, meetings need to be manageable by the council member's ability of how long they can sit without pain and/or stress. The council meets within a designated and publicized area of the long-term care facility that is accessible, that is large enough to hold the number of council members, and that is private. This includes and is not limited to the need for interpreters and materials written in languages of every council member, additional hearing devices, supportive helpers to see and describe materials for those with sight challenges, a helper to manage focus, to the meeting's details, or a front seat if personal challenges cause them to need to sit closer, accommodations for those with mobility challenges. There are many more reasons to consider. The regulation for skilled nursing facilities is F565. The nursing homes have a regulation that speaks to the right to organize and participate in a council. The facility must provide a resident or family group, if one exists, with private space, and take reasonable steps within the approval of the group to make residents and family members aware of upcoming meetings in a timely manner. Staff, visitors, or other guests may attend resident group or family group meetings only at the respective group's invitation. The facility must provide a designated staff person who is approved by the resident or family group and the facility and who is responsible for providing assistance and responding to a written request that result from group meetings. The F565 regulation continued. The resident has a right to organize and participate in resident groups in the facility. The facility must consider the views of a resident or family group and act promptly upon the grievances and recommendations of such groups concerning issues of residents' care and life in the facility. The facility must be able to demonstrate the response and rationale for such a response. This should not be construed to mean that the facility must implement, as recommended, every request of the resident or family group. The resident has a right to participate in family groups, and the resident has a right to have family members or other resident representatives meet in the facility with the families or resident representatives of other residents in the facility. Take a moment and pause the recording and look back at the previous slide and this slide to fully review the 565 regulation. As mentioned, currently there is no regulation requiring an assisted living or long-term care boarding facility to have a council. Regulation is only for skilled nursing facilities, but consider the Older Americans Act and the Long-Term Care Ombudsman Program guidance and consider having a council. Resident and family engagement. 10 dimensions of a person. There are many things important to each of us in our lives. People want to be seen, heard, and accepted as their authentic, true selves. Whether the person residing in the residential care facility is there for permanent stay or is there just for a short time, it is important to understand the entire person needs to be considered. This is a powerful reason to support the residents and families to gather and provide feedback. The organization should adjust care and services for the people that are there to reside at any given time. The facilitator of the council must keep good order during the meetings to allow for differences in opinion and personal beliefs to be recognized, respected, and not allow for disruptions due to differences of those opinions and beliefs during the meetings. Take a look at the wheel of 10 dimensions of a person. These are areas that need to be thought about, considered, and discussed during council meetings. Intellectual enrichment. How does the person spend their time? These are things that make our minds grow and be active. Do they enjoy reading, music, art, cooking, political discussions, learning new things? Think about what you would need to fulfill your intellectual side. Spiritual. Not everyone participates in an organized religion. And remember, there are many religions. Some people may fill their spirituality with nature or mindfulness. What is yours? Emotional. How you feel, react, and manage good and bad situations needs to be supported and respected in the place you dwell. Physical. A person's best chance at mental and physical health comes with opportunities to balance exercise, sleep habits, nutrition, and the ability to seek guidance and care for both physical and mental illnesses and discomforts. Gender must be respected to accept whether the person considers themselves male, female, or non-binary, which means an identity outside of male or female. Only the person can decide who they truly are. Gender affects attitudes, behaviors, norms, and roles that a society or culture associates with an individual's sex. Sexual orientation is the sexual and emotional attraction to another person. The other person may be the same sex or gender, or attract to both sexes, or more than one gender. Environmental means what is a person's needs to be comfortable and supported in the space that you dwell in, such as, but not limited to, is it quiet enough? Surroundings and decor that is enjoyed by the person? Is there enough activities? How's the temperature? Mobility issues? Size? Does the person feel safe within the considered area? Community is a person's group they most identify with in regards to values, activities, desires, abilities, and opinions. People may have more than one community to which they belong. Social. Each person needs the opportunity to decide if they want meaningful relationships in a way that best fits the person and have access to creating relationships they desire. Occupational. Many people identify with what they did when they actively worked prior to retirement. Some people would like to remain working, whether it be paid or in a volunteer position. What is resident and family engagement? Resident and family engagement is one component of person-centered care, a philosophy that recognizes residents as individuals and as partners. Effective resident and family partnerships are demonstrated by including the residents and family as active members of the healthcare team. Accommodating resident choices and preferences in their plan of care is one way facilities can reflect a commitment to resident and family-centered care. Resident advisors, advocates, and long-term care ombudsmen are examples of formal roles in long-term care facilities that promote shared decision-making and active partnerships. Take a moment and pause this recording, reflect on the bullets of the slide, click the link to get more information around this topic. Resident and family-centered care is a philosophy that keeps the person, the resident, and their family at the center of every decision-making process. A focus assuring residents' preferences are valued and respected. Care that reflects dignity and respect, information sharing, participation, and collaboration. Seeing resident and family engagement, it's a continuum. The dimensions of a person and resident and family engagement, as you see here, is all connected. One area impacts another. Having those affected coming together to inform the organizational system of the needs of the resident they are serving is the main reason of a resident family council. In this diagram, you see an outline of the continuum of engagement. These are the levels that need to be part of the discussion. Direct care in all of its components must be clear to all individuals who are served by the organization. The organization of care must reflect the wishes of those who receive it. An accessible and understandable way to share feedback must be present. Policymaking must be done in a team effort between the organization, the family, and the advocates, and most importantly, the person who is receiving those services. No two people are alike, so remember the statement, nothing about me without me, in everything you do when serving and holding a council. There are clear benefits for resident and family engagement. As stated, all residents have an opportunity to be authentically received and respected. Residents and staff can educate each other about their differences, boundaries, and expectations. Care services and supports tailored to an individual, better quality of life, great resident, family, and staff satisfaction, strengthen relationships and trust among staff, residents, and families, improve health outcomes of residents as they are more willing to follow prescribed health regimens, increase feelings of a community, expanded knowledge about healthcare and long-term care communities. Validation of advocacy is expected and important. Here is why we asked the residents and families. Let's take a look at the reasons and what a person would say in each area. Are experts on what they want and need. I want someone to listen to my story. Are innovators and problem solvers. I wanted to make sure other visitors and residents had more of a positive experience. are passionate about safety and comfort. The staff seem tired and overwhelmed. I feel powerless and distrustful. I didn't understand the system. Will help you for free, want to make a difference, want you to remember nothing about me without me as a guiding light. So after telling the story and being heard, I felt more empathetic and empowered. Benefits for nursing home care help the facilities get things right, as it is an opportunity to learn about the unique perspectives of the residents of the facility at any given time. Learn what the priority concerns are for residents. Transform the culture towards person-centered care to remain current and relevant by improving those policies, reduce waste and cost savings by developing programs desired by the residents, increase patient satisfaction that leads to better overall organizational scores, and increase community loyalty and community relations. Increase healthcare professional satisfaction and retention. And this meets regulation requirements for skilled nursing facilities. This presentation is just the beginning of what we are offering. Take your time and work through each module. Future modules will be announced as they become available. You are currently learning about how to build your resident and family council by listening to this presentation about the foundation of the council. Next, go to the second part, utilizing the resident and family council's checklist to get started creating or renewing a resident and family council. Soon, the following will be released. Moving towards partnership, leadership, organizing and action tools, inclusive, transparent, and communication plan, from topic to action, sustain the resident and family council. Also, there will be a topic library that will grow over time. Here are our references not listed on other slides. Thank you for listening, and I want to wish you great success with your engagement of residents and families councils. Do not hesitate to reach out to me or anyone on the Superior Health Quality Alliance team.